Hey there, I'm Paula.
Hi, I'm Katie.
And we're with eXp Realty.
And today we're going to talk a little bit about why we moved from the north to Florida.
Yes. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in the Panhandle, things to do, things to look out for, fun places to go, homes for sale, hit that subscribe button so that you can learn everything there is to know about the area. So I originally moved here in 2005. It was right after Hurricane Ivan, thankfully. So I have yet to experience a hurricane, and I've lived here for 20 years now. And so my reason for moving here, I was born and raised in Toronto. I lived in Maryland for a few years, and then we moved to Florida. And as a kid, I just always wanted to live somewhere hot, wanted to get away from the cold.
Yes.
That was like my big motivation. So that's how we ended up in Florida.
Yeah, we're kind of the same. We actually lived in Maryland for a little while too. And when my husband got out of the military, we moved back to Buffalo, which is where I'm from. I was born and raised in Buffalo. Go Bills. But we just happened to luck out and be there for the 2 winters that were the coldest on record in like the last 50 years.
Oh my gosh.
So we said,
so like how cold?
No.
How cold?
Negative 40 wind chills. Yeah, it was intense.
Cold.
Yeah. It was like this crazy January cold snap that we just said, this is crazy. My husband did a lot of work outside, and like to be able to only consistently work for a few months of the year without being frozen out of it. It was hard. So my in-laws had actually moved down to the Crestview area about 30 years ago, I would say now. They were working with Holiday Builders actually. And so they got moved down here. And so we thought, hey, let's go try Florida instead. And we moved, I think 2016. So I have also yet to experience an actual hurricane.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Oopsies. Great.
The dogs are in their kennel. So.
But yeah, it's been almost 10 years now, and we love it. And it's definitely different from up north.
Yes.
There's a few things that, were a huge shock to the system, I would say.
So like what?
So I moved here with the anticipation of, sun and getting a tan every day. It's not exactly like that because it really does get very hot, especially in August, with the humidity and everything. Yeah. That is a different level of heat.
Yes.
But we moved in May, so we moved right at the beginning of summer here. And when I first got here, I just remember feeling it was like a hug after surviving Buffalo winter. And I was like, oh, it's so nice.
Oh, like a pleasant hug.
Yeah, it's a good hug.
Okay. So the heat didn't like shock you that first summer?
Not too bad. I mean, it was, once August hit, I was like, oh, wow, this is a different type of heat. Just the humidity does add another, because it's like walking through thick air almost. Yes. But yeah, I mean, our first winter, we went kayaking on Christmas Eve. And so that was really cool. I would say winters have been colder the last few years here. We got snow last year.
I know, 13 inches of snow.
I never thought I'd see snow again.
I know.
My kids had no idea what was going on. I have 2 one was born in Florida and then one was born in New York, but we moved when he was 6 months old. And then my 2 older ones, I have 4 altogether. My 2 older ones had seen snow. Will and Ryan were both in Buffalo. They both remember it quite well. But Caleb and Annabelle, nothing. Like, they didn't know what was going on, and they were obsessed.
Yeah.
And we don't have winter clothes anymore.
Oh.
So they had gloves. We had no gloves, so they just had socks on their hands. They were like 3 or 4 socks on each hand, and then have to come change them out when they get wet. So it was an experience. But yeah, the weather is different for sure. I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget what holidays are coming up.
Yeah.
It's gonna be is the 4th of July coming? I'm like, oh wait, no, that already happened. Because there's the seasons are a little.
Yeah, because there's no seasons.
No,
it's like we go
cold
from
or hot.
Yes, we go from intense heat to all of a sudden, next day we're going down to freezing.
Yeah.
And it's cold. And so.
And it can be in the same day.
Yes. Yeah. And so, our poor HVAC systems are like running on AC,
Yep.
switching to cold, switching back. I actually had Lunsford out yesterday and they're like, your capacitor is about to go up again.
No.
And I was like, okay, why does this keep happening? And he goes, it might be our crazy weather because we're flipping it back and forth so much. So yeah, that was one of the things, like the seasons which I will say, I probably miss the fall.
I do miss fall. I miss fall for sure.
I love the beautiful changing of the leaves.
Yeah.
That was so pretty.
Going apple picking.
Well, I never bought apple picking.
We can't get great apples down here.
Oh.
It's not the same.
Really?
No.
Okay, I didn't have apple picking in Toronto, so I don't know. But I do miss like the mild spring, and then the mild fall before you get to winter. And so I feel like here, we just go from like 100 degrees and then all of a sudden before you know it, it's winter.
Yeah.
So the seasons is kind of sad that we don't get the seasons. And one thing I always tell people is like, I don't know about you, but moving here, I assume like, oh, I'm moving to Florida. It's going to be hot. So I gave away all my winter clothes.
Yeah.
And then I got here and I was like, what the heck? It's cold. Like, this is Florida. So I will say, if you are moving from the north, do not give away all your winter clothes and your boots, because
keep a couple things.
Yes, because and some sweaters, because we do have those cold spells where you are going to need some warmer clothes. So I ended up having to rebuy, or my sister has donated like some coats to me and I bought some boots. And so weather, that is definitely hard one to adjust to at first. My first summer here, I'll never forget, like my hair is naturally black. And so I was outside, the person that used to cut our lawn was over. And so at the end, we ended up standing outside talking for like 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I came inside not knowing, I did not think my body could sweat before that. I mean, I came inside with like armpit rings. Yeah. It was quite disgusting.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? And my head felt like it was on fire.
Oh, gosh.
Because of the sun on my head. So I remember that first summer, I was like, how do people survive this? Like, it's so intense. So, but I feel like having little ones, because my kids were born in Toronto. And so I came back here when I had moved here. I went back up north, hoping to move back. And then our house didn't sell here. And so we just decided to come back. So the kids were little. And so I feel like with little ones, you just adapted to like, we had a pool. And so we would take them swimming early in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then we kind of knew by like 11, 12 was inside hours.
Yeah.
And then, maybe we would go back in the pool and swim around 5.
Yeah.
So
we learned that too when we went, would go to the beach, when we do go to the beach. And we always said we would not be those people that moved to Florida and never go to the beach. Well, we are not those people.
Oh, no.
We rarely go.
Oh, no.
We'll get a couple times a year. But we have found that going in the evening is a whole lot better because the sun, like, it's just not as intense and you don't get as sunburned.
Yes.
So we never go to the beach before like 3 p.m. unless like it's a play date with their school or something that we have to be there, that everyone's gathering.
Yeah.
We did one there this year of like everyone met at like 9 a.m. and I was like,
oh, that was
I don't want to go.
That was probably a really long day.
Well, we didn't stay all that. It was like from 9 to like 12 or 1 or something. That's not bad. But still, I'm like, that's the hottest time of the day.
Yeah.
But it was fine. We think it was early enough in the season. It wasn't too bad. But
okay, so speaking of the beach,
yes.
What beach do you go to? What part of the beach?
We love Fort Pickens.
Okay.
Because we're former military, so we can get on base for, we have their military passes. Mm-hmm. But it is $25 to get on, but totally worth it.
Now, is that $25 to get on one time?
I think so. Like, it's like the day pass.
Really?
I think, unless it's changed.
Okay.
I don't know, because we don't.
Oh, yeah, you don't look at it. I feel like with my parents, I know I've gone with my parents, and because they're seniors, then they get access for free.
Right.
So that is a good question. So I'll look it up and then I'll post the price on here.
Yeah, it's an awesome beach. It's very like rustic almost.
Yeah.
Because there's no buildings on it except for the fort. So, which is super cool to go walk around and see a lot of history. It's really old. I mean, I think like War of 1812, Revolutionary War, it was in use.
Hey there, my name's Paula, and this is my friend Katie. And we've been living in the area for 20 and
almost
10 years, and we absolutely love it here. So if you are thinking of making a move, whether that be now or in the near future, we would love to help you. All of our contact information is down below. So feel free to either call us, text us, or email us, and we would love to help you make a smooth move to Florida.
We have some really cool history in the Pensacola area. It is the oldest settlement in the United States, which I didn't really know before moving here. Because you always think like Pilgrims, and nope, it's Pensacola settlement is actually older than that. So that was really cool. And like just walking around the fort is always super fun. But the beaches they're my favorite because you don't get as many people, and there's because you have to pay to get on. But you can camp there year round, I believe. And
have you guys camped there?
We have not. No. My cousins did though.
Okay.
And they loved it.
I think that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on our bucket list of things to do.
I just feel like the timing of it, you have to figure out because I don't want to camp in the middle of the heat.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would be okay with camping like at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
When it's not so hot, or maybe like at the very end of the summer.
And before the bugs start.
Yes. Oh my God. Okay. Bugs. Actually, that's a great transition. Okay. Bugs. So my experience when I moved here, like up north in Toronto, we kind of had this theory that like if you had bugs in your home, it's because you were dirty. Oh, you did too?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I moved here and I was like, I start seeing roaches. Yeah. And I'm like, am I dirty all of a sudden?
No,
I was like,
this is their home first and we are living in it.
And so I had to ask people, I was like almost embarrassed, like for anybody to know that I had bugs, right? Because they might realize, think that I was dirty. So I had to ask hey, I've in Toronto, I didn't have bugs. And somebody was super casual, oh yeah, girl, you just have to get a pest control service. You have to treat for bugs. So whether you, initially we treated ourselves, we would get our own sprayed on the baseboards. And I mean, my babies were little. So I got something that was semi-family friendly, sprayed on the baseboards. It dried in 10 minutes. And then that lasted almost 2 years before I saw bugs again.
Yeah.
So what did you guys do for bug control?
Honestly, we don't do a whole lot just because I have 4 kids. They're in and out all day, every day.
Yeah.
And dogs. And so anything we've tried really just doesn't work because the door just is always open. Yeah, coming in and out. But yeah, the roaches here are different though from New York and up north roaches. These things they're huge and they fly.
Yes.
And they will dive bomb.
Oh,
and they call them palmetto bugs. And I feel like that tries to soften the blow of, no, they're roaches.
Yeah.
Gigantic.
Yeah. Palmettos sounds like this beautiful, like a palmetto plant.
Yeah.
It's oh, how beautiful and tropical. And then, yesterday I was coming out of the store. I got in my car. I felt something crawling on my neck. Girl, I was like, ah! I pulled it out. And then I don't know where it landed. And then last night I saw something in the dark, crawling on my dashboard. I just grabbed a napkin and I squished it. And then I looked at it. It was a poor ladybug.
Oh.
I was like, oh, had I known you were a ladybug, I would not have and so vengeful.
Yeah.
So
I guess you kind of get used to them though. It's just there. I will say the sago palms, and any of the Florida palm tree things that actually are not native to our area. Any palm trees you see in our area are imported, but the palmetto bugs do like those. That's why they're called that. So any of the sago palms that, if you buy a house with one of those sago palms in the front, that they like to put in.
Be ready.
Get rid of it.
Or be ready.
Yeah.
We'll be ready for the creepy crawlies.
That was the first thing we did when we bought our house, is get rid of the sago palm.
Yes. Okay. So let's transition into, I do want to talk about the heat and the plants. That was a little bit tricky for me with trying to have a garden.
Yes.
And one summer I was
totally
determined.
Different.
Yes, because up north in Toronto, everybody has their tomato plants. And then in the fall you can them and you have amazing tomato sauce for years.
Yeah.
So I think it was either my first year or my second year, I was determined I was going to have a garden. So I went out and I bought all these plants. and I water them like crazy.
Yeah.
And they would die because it was just too hot. So the placement of plants is like,
it's hard.
It's tough.
It's also our soil. Our soil is sand. And that was one thing. So we do kind of like a home study type thing at my house. And that was one thing when we first got here, like New York, same thing. Like you throw something on the ground, it's going to grow.
Yes.
You almost don't even have to work at it.
Yeah.
It's just sand. Like there's not the nutrients in the soil that we were used to up north. So when we moved here, we started doing like the animal rotation. So like the chickens and cows, and we have pigs as well. So we would like let the animals be on the ground first before we would plant in that area. But that took a while to kind of establish. I will say with tomato plants, line the hole with oak leaves.
Really?
Like rotting oak leaves, and that will help. But growing seasons are super short, and the struggle I've had the last few years is if I can get everything in February, then I can get a good harvest before the bugs get bad. Other than that, like if they're any later, then I just won't get as much. And then the heat just kills everything. So I do a lot of winter gardening. So like right now I've got like my kale and my collards and cabbage and like all my leafy stuff. And I did try some tomatoes, but we just got like a random frost last week or 2 weeks ago. So those all died. But hypothetically, we don't get that until like January. So typically you could plant all your tomatoes and cucumbers and stuff normally
in the fall. Oh, interesting.
So I do most of my gardening actually in the fall and winter.
And then when you garden, do you feel like there's a certain part of the yard, like, is it somewhat shaded?
Yeah, well, I put it where it won't get the morning sun. And I place it so it'll get the evening sun. So like up till noon, it's mostly shaded. And then afternoon, once it goes past, like it helps a bit.
I feel like that's really key.
Yeah.
Because when I had my garden, it was getting that full noon sun.
Yeah.
Like from noon to like 5 o'clock, it was intense.
Yeah.
And no matter if I had watered the plants in the morning, when I came out and looked at them, they were all withered because they were like, they had that intense heat on them.
Yeah. So as long as you can shade them until about 1.
Okay.
And then it helps. Yeah. We have like a couple different places we put stuff, but.
Did you find like chicken manure help them grow?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The nitrogen. Although the chicken, they're very intense, so you have to kind of like wait. So they'll be like the first things you put on there.
Okay.
That go, and then we would send like the pigs on it, and they till it all up, and then I don't have to.
Oh, how nice!
And then their fertilizer is not as nitrogen heavy, so the nitrogen in chicken manure will actually burn the plants because it's so heavy.
Okay. And the only reason I kind of figured this out was because I had chickens when I lived on education. And so I would go out at night and like throw, some of the food scraps for them. And so I guess in that, like maybe some tomatoes fell.
Oh yeah.
And then before I knew it, I had this giant tomato plant growing by the chicken
We always
coop.
have a few random tomatoes just like scattered.
I was like, how is this possible? Like when I try, it doesn't work. I didn't try. And there's
ducks are good. Their poo isn't as strong, I guess, as chickens. So you can actually let them run through your gardens too, because they don't really, chickens will eat all your plants.
Yes.
Ducks not so much.
Okay. Well, and now
that's a good option.
I live in a subdivision with a pool. Katie has the luxury of a beautiful 2-acre parcel. So
we lucked out.
Yes. So I don't, with a pool, I can't have, I could have chickens in the neighborhood.
Okay.
But I feel like with the dogs, my dog would totally like kill them. So
Louis would,
Yeah, Louis like a hunter. He's like, kill. So let's talk about homeschooling, because I just want to say Katie is like super mom. She is like homeschooling mom, selling real estate, running her homestead farm, professional
help.
Okay. Yes.
It's a joint effort.
Yes. Joel does a great job.
Yes.
But then you're also like a dance instructor, amazing professional dancer. So talk about homeschooling.
So homeschooling in Florida is awesome. There is a huge community of homeschoolers and so many different options for what we can do. I'm part of a co-op that we're worldwide, actually. I'm part of Classical Conversations. We've been homeschooling through them, and we took a break. I think we took a year break just to try something else, but we went back to it because we really like the community aspect. So like, it's not like we're by ourselves. Like it's you know, they have friends, and my kids are more social than most of the kids I ever grew up with. We never have a problem with that.
So with a co-op, explain, like, do you guys meet and do classes together?
Yeah. So we meet one day a week.
Okay.
And then kids are all divided up into classes, and they do work with them. My oldest he's a junior in high school, which is crazy. So today we're finishing up our first semester already, actually. We're done with the younger kids. The older kids go this week to finish up. They have a little bit longer of a program. They go 30 weeks of the year. We do 26 with the co-op, or 24, sorry, with the co-op. And then, I mean, at home, we're always doing something. Like we kind of go all year. We don't take a summer break or anything like that because, well, it's kind of hard to take a summer break here because feels like summer for 9 months of the year. So it just doesn't, I don't know. But that allows us to take breaks whenever we want to and not feel like we're going to be running out of time or something with the school year. But anyway, like he's doing his debates right now. And so they had to prepare debates. And I mean, their program is pretty intense, but it really, like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like he's going to be prepared for whatever he wants to do in life. And,
that's awesome.
It's a really good program. So it takes a lot of the pressure off. Like I don't necessarily have to, like, it's not up to me to like make sure they know everything. So I would say if you do homeschool, like get into a co-op with, at least to have other moms that you can like bounce things off of, because it's not easy. It's not always fun. Sometimes you want to like drop them off at the nearest public school, but
like, we're done. We're done with it.
It's definitely worth it. But I would say yes, for sure, get involved with a community, and that's what I really loved here in Florida. I mean, New York, there was some homes. Like my best friend growing up was homeschooled all through, and she's amazing. And like we moved into college, and her college was maybe like 20 minutes. We were in the same town, and she came to visit me because she had moved in the weekend before, and I was in the process of moving in, and she came to visit me, and she already like knew somebody at my college. And I was like, what? How?
Because she was probably around so many people.
Yeah. So, I mean, the whole like socialization aspect, like stigma that homeschoolers get, no.
Yeah.
My kids can have a full-on conversation with any adult any day of the week. And like,
I will definitely testify to that, that I can tell the difference of like kids that are homeschooled, and they're just used to being, you know, around people of all ages, whether it's kids or adults. Whereas like, you know, kids that went to, like my one daughter went to public school and Sophia went to Santa Rosa Christian. And so they just get pegged into their grade. Yeah. And it's very much like,
and a lot into their niche, like just their friend group. And like expanding that is.
Yes. And it's just, I remember when.
I mean, I went to private school, but I was like regular public school. And then, so that's how I grew up.
So if somebody's moving here, first of all, can they reach out to you if they have questions? Can you be a resource?
Absolutely.
For other parents looking to homeschool, call Katie. We'll put all of her information here so you can give her a call. Because how are they going to find a co-op group?
You can just go on, just Google, honestly. Like Google Florida Homeschool. Because there are so many co-ops. Like I have a bunch of friends, even friends that are not in our co-op at homeschool, because being a dance teacher, I have lots of students. And so I have this sweet little lyrical class. There's 12 of them. And I would say half of them are homeschooled, and all different. There's one little girl that's in our co-op. That's how I like reeled her into, like, you really need to be in dance. Come take with me. I recruit. But yeah, I would say about half of them, and all different co-ops. So like everyone, there's a place for everybody. And like the program we have, it's not for everybody. I mean, that's fine. Yeah. It works for us, and we love it. But there's drop-off programs. Like we did one year where I would drop the kids off, and they would have like teachers, like a regular school day. But they would do all of their work, you know, basic coursework that day, and then they would have homework that they would have to do for the next school day. It would just be once a week. And so basically I would help them with their homework all week. And that was fun too. I didn't like it as much because I didn't feel like as much of community because like the kids were just there. And so I didn't really know any of the other parents or any of the other of their friends. And like, I love it now. Like I know all of my kids' friends and I know their parents and I know their siblings and like, it's just like a big family. So like if anyone needs anything, I mean, like we had one of our moms just had a baby. And so like we're all over there doing meal trains and like, it's just, I mean, it's nice to be part of that. And especially when you are homeschooling, sometimes it does feel a little isolating because you're in the home, like you're just there. I have the luxury of teaching and doing real estate, so I do get out, like meet other people. But a lot of homeschool moms don't. Like they don't work outside of the home, so it can be very like I am in this alone.
And that's where having the community is really important.
It really helps a lot. And it helps you to know that like, okay, I'm not messing my kid up by doing this. Like, okay, they're late in this, that, or the other, but like, they're not, they'll catch up, everything. Like,
and if anything, if you think about it, it's like your kids are getting a private, like one-on-one tutor almost, versus being in a classroom of 30 kids where they can easily get lost in the shuffle. So,
and there are so many online resources now. Like my 2 older boys do an online math course. So like, I still remember high school math. It's been a while. But like I was helping Will with trigonometry the other day and it just like was coming back. I'm like, this is weird. This has been 25 years since I've done this. But, you don't have to know it. Like so their program is they watch a video with a professor teaching everything and like showing descriptions on the board and then they have their practice works and there's always like a need help, click here. So you really don't have to. You are not the teacher. Like you are not imparting all the wisdom into the child. Like,
and I think that's good to know because I think
that scares people. Because they think I'm not prepared to teach my child. Yes, you are. Like,
I mean, that would totally scare me because I would have that exact same fear. Like, I don't have any background in education. Like I
don't either. I mean, I'm a teacher, but I'm a dance teacher. It's a little bit different.
Right. But very cool.
Thank you so much for joining us for our video on all things Panhandle and living here. If you are interested in buying or selling, please contact us. Or if you're just interested in homeschooling, homesteading, I don't know, anything, please just let us know. And we'd love to help you. Our contact information is below and please hit like or subscribe. And we'll be in touch.
Thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.